have some comments on the budget here, and I don't want to discount the work of Thelma or Steve. They're professionals, and my comments are based purely on the policy. Clean streets, safe neighborhoods, dependable city services, and fair taxes. These are the basic things that we want from our city government. And while I'm not suggesting that we hit the rewind button on what we've done here at City Hall, I ask that we get back to the basics and balance a changing landscape in an evolving city with the getting back to the basics, the properly addressing public safety needs of the community and boosting city services if we have the ability to do so, and we do. These are priorities and should be our number one priorities. I do not think that these goals are represented well enough in this budget, and I feel that our priorities are still not properly aligned with the needs of the community and our values. I ran for council because I felt that city government in Westland was becoming increasingly out of touch with the needs of the people. The job of representing citizens is a challenging one, and that is not to be taken lightly. I've asked for discussion on changes in the budget and was met time and time again with silence or suggestions that I wait. I would have loved to have been part of coming up with a budget that I was eager to approve, but I found myself less and less thrilled as time went on with what I was hearing. My plea to budget and funding for additional police manpower fell on deaf ears. I will not be supporting the budget tonight, but what I do promise is that my commitment and goal to effect positive change in this community will continue on. The combined Parks and Rec Department with Wayne has left us in a tough spot, with their council still debating the possible closure of their rec center that we share with them, and also a shared director that is rarely seen or heard from in the city of Westland. The new budget proposed tonight includes the hiring of a full-time employee to manage the facilities that will be part of the City Hall and Farmers Market. Without the addition of any of the programs that we enjoyed in the past, I can't support the addition of a full-time employee for that purpose. Recently, we've been left in a position of paying more taxes for less services. The tax increase that is part of this budget is the largest one-time increase in the city of Westland's history. And I cannot support hitting the residents with $3.50 per $1,000 in taxable value, knowing that many homeowners will be hit with increases in the hundreds of dollars. The Police and Fire Retirement Fund should have been better maintained in recent years, and laying it on the residents all at once cannot have been the best way to handle it. Coupled with that, there's a budgeted increase in assessing to canvass the city, which I understand, but it will likely raise residents' taxes by reassessing their home values higher. All of this without the addition of one single police officer, one firefighter, or one street-level DPS worker. When we're sitting on a multi-million-dollar surplus, it isn't right to continue to ask our city employees to do more with less, or to continue to ask residents to pay higher taxes and not move services back towards what they once were. Thank you for the time, and I'll be voting no on this tonight.
Councilman Kerr.
Well, all I got to say to that is, wow. First of all, the assessing has to be done by state law, as you heard here tonight. No one's property values or taxes are going to go up because of this assessing unless you had something installed on your house like a deck or in-ground pool, not above-ground pool, an in-ground pool, a deck, or a major improvement to your home like a garage, and never pulled your permits like you were supposed to and never told the city that you had that structure. Your your houses have already been assessed for the year for what your taxes are going to be based on. This reassessment of all the properties is just to seek out people that did not pull permits and added main structures like decks and garages and didn't tell us. So if you weren't being, quite frankly, dishonest and not pulling your permits like you should have, you have nothing to fear by this reassessment. So I'd really take exception to that, not to mention it has to be done by state law. You can't just go on and on and on and on for years and years and years and never have your properties done what we're going to do. Okay. The only tax increases in this budget are the ones for the police and retirement fund. As suggested there, no, there was no other options. It was an obligation that was already built in before Mr. Coleman took office. It has to be paid. It's a bill that has to be paid. There was no option. There is no other way, as he may have suggested, to address this problem. Public Act 345 was set up this way by the founders of our city. Public Act 345 and this fund has been there since Westland has been a city. Our city forefathers organized our budget to work this way and for that fund to pay for police and retirement cost. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing what this city's done every year since we've been a city. Just because there happens to be a major increase because of the way the stock market's been the last 5 years, hey, we're starting to recover a little bit, but we have to do what we have to do. That's called being a leader and making a tough decision and making sure the fund's balanced. That's my fiduciary responsibility to you, all of you, to make sure our fund's balanced. The Parks and Rec, well, there's not much we can do about that. You're talking about taking a major, major chunk out of the balance that we've worked so hard to put our city into the black. Taking out a major crunch out of that budget to try to reopen that facility. That's just not feasible at this point in time. You know, we've worked very hard up here. We've pinched every penny. We've gone out every bid. The last 5 years to build our balance that Plant Moran told us we were going to be $15 million in the red to get our balance to $5 million in the black. That was a lot of hard work. That was a lot of sacrifice. All our employees have sacrificed more than any city I know of in Wayne County to help us get this balance that we have. And we've all worked hard to get that balance. Do we have some things that need to be addressed? We certainly do. Could we use some new police officers? Sure. Probably never have enough. But to make a lot of comments like that really astounds me. We worked so hard to get where we're at. I'll be voting yes. Thank you.